Before you turned pro, what was your dream? Did you have one or?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, my dream was to race professional motocross, supercross for a living. It kind of ended right there. Of course, I was like that, looking, that seemed like a far enough reach in itself. Um, I remember experiencing at the time, you know, especially when I got the opportunity and you gave me the chance and signed me with Factory Suzuki with you guys, and I did the last 4 outdoor races. And I remember I prepared, I did all that I could. Um, I really felt like I did all that I could to be prepared for those races, but then there was just going through it. It was, you know, the first race was good because it was Millville. I knew that track, you know, it was in Minnesota. But the next three, I didn't know the tracks. I didn't know the riders. There was so much to learn around me. And there was this, I was lacking this confidence in myself and believing in myself that I could do it. You know, it all seemed so surreal still to just be
Yeah.
where I was at and the opportunity. So I remember those 4 races came by, and the last 3 obviously didn't go good. I remember thinking, well, I'm racing East Coast next year in the Supercross, so I got a nice, I don't know, six months to prepare. And I remember I took a little break, went to Minnesota, hang out before we got started, and then when I came back, I was like, all right, here we go. I got a new trainer, was working hard with Darren, doing the job. You know,
Yeah.
me and Ivan were riding every week, and I was doing good, but something was still lacking. And then I got a, we grew up in this Catholic school, and every Wednesday we'd go to church, and our pastor there his name was Father Larry, and we were pretty close with him. He would go to our Loretta Lynn's races, nationals. He'd come to our local races. He was a really solid guy, and he'd say a prayer over us, all this stuff, and he always kept in touch. And he sent me a card one day in the mail, and it came to California, and it said a bunch of stuff. I don't remember much, but I just remember at the end it said, you know, I believe in you, God believes in you. Now you have to believe in yourself. And I remember thinking, it hit me so hard, like, that's what it is. I got to believe in myself. And so right then and there, I remember thinking, and that's when I was like, okay, believe in myself. I tried to apply it. Didn't know how I was going to do it at first or what that looked like. But then I started trying to see myself in envisioning myself winning races and you know, being out in front of the pack, getting the whole shot, and then from, you know, the practicing and the setup, kind of everything. And then shortly after that, here we showed up at Atlanta Supercross in 2007, my first Supercross in the States, and we won. I mean, it was
Yeah.
and you know, and the thing where we were talking earlier, it's like when I started seeing myself in my mind, like that, having that faith and believing and you know, believing in the invisible, like what, you know, believing in the impossible, that I could do it. It started to seem more real to me. And then I remember showing up at Atlanta thinking that I wasn't thinking, okay, I want to get top 10. I wasn't thinking I want to get top 5. I was like, I want to win. And I didn't know it at the time, of course. I mean, but my expectations were already like, I already saw myself as the front runner. And yeah, it was hard for me to see that, but that's where I saw myself then. And we won the race. And of course, I had a lot of learning curves and a lot of things to go through after that. But it was amazing to see the difference. You know, I've also been on the other front where I've been the most physically prepared guy. I did more laps than anybody in 2008. But what I lacked that season was I didn't believe in myself. Even all the way up into 2000, and I remember going into the 2015 season, you told me you got to believe in yourself. And then it really hit me, and I worked on that, and it's amazing the power that has, and the results that will come following it.
Yep.
So yeah, it was pretty. I mean, multiple times multiple stories, and it doesn't end. You don't just get there and it ends. It's like you kind of lose that belief when you have to face that bigger challenge, because it takes more faith, it takes more belief in yourself.
Yeah.
So you got to constantly keep reassuring yourself you can do it. You know, you can do it. See yourself there and just keep doing that.
A lot of athletes use visualization to you know, to see themselves winning and all that. How did you practice that technique? Or
Well, I mean, you can definitely wear yourself out like crazy if you just, you know, doing it all day, going to bed. I think you got to really manage it right. You know, if you wear yourself out trying to do it too. But I think just those moments. Of course, you know, obviously during the day you're putting in your work, the preparation and everything like that. But I mean, there's so many days. I mean, you know, now a big thing is Twitter and Instagram, and you're on your phone constantly. So maybe put the phone down and think about this. You know, think about scenarios where you can be better and see yourself. What would that look like? How would you handle that situation? Or just picturing it in your mind and seeing it, and you know, usually it gets pretty exciting because, you know, if you think about like what you haven't done before and what you could do, I mean, it gives you a lot of hope. It gives you a lot of belief in yourself, I guess, you know, and you can do it any point during the day. I mean, you can be laying in bed thinking about it. You can, you know, it's not like, you know, you can do it at any point of the day. It's just picking a time and a place and giving yourself that allowance to do it, and just visualizing. So Raj, what do you do to make it easier to believe in yourself?
I always believe that hard work and stay focused pays off in the long run. And as far as being visualizing, it's not only, I don't think it's only like used to see yourself winning the race, but it's to carry yourself as a champion or a leader in all the step of the way. You know, it's starts at maybe at breakfast, you know, cleaning up after yourself, a lot of little things that add up through the day, through the week, that set yourself apart, you know, and it's not throwing you trash through the window, or, you know. A lot of little things. I think champions carry themselves in a certain way, and they set themselves apart from the masses by being aware of what they do, and by trying to do it better than average, you know, and try to do it to be a leader, be a champion, and that's a lot of little things that again add up to a big thing at the end, you know. We used to, like, these little things also on the fitness side and all that. When I was working with Johnny and Bailey, we had a rule: we don't take escalators in the airport, you know. We don't take elevators. We took the stairs, up or down, big bags or no. And usually with motocross, you're carrying a lot of big bags, and it's like a lot of little things like that, you know, that makes a difference in the end.
Is there anybody that you ever worked with that just had a supreme amount of confidence in what they did and going to the gate?
I've worked with some pretty confident guys. Bob Hanna was one of them, but then Ricky Carmichael, you know, he was pretty amazing. When he went to the gate, you know, he believed that he was going to do it, you know. And it's funny because many times early in the day, you know, James would beat him in practice by 1 or 1.5 seconds in some nationals, and he would come back and, Raj, I'm washed up, I'm done, you know. Man, I cannot do it anymore. I
Really?
Riding like a pansy, you know. And even his mom would come to me sometime after practice. Hey, Raj, you need to talk to him, you know. You need to have a talk with him. And but then when it was time to go to the gate, he flipped, man, and he was. I don't think he ever went to the gate being not being confident. He was amazing in that way.
Yeah.
Like, he once the race started, he could make mistakes, but his mind would never stay in the mistake. I don't think he had a memory for mistakes. You know, he only was thinking about what's in front of him, what's next, what's the next obstacle, the next turn, the next jump. He did not, you know, and that's where Marvin needs to improve. You know, he is such a perfectionist that if he make a little mistake, then he is so worried, and his mind stays in that mistake for the next 3 laps, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was Ricky's big strength. Sometimes he would tell him after, hey Ricky, that was, remember on lap 7, man, I thought you were dead, you know, or, you know, I thought you were gonna splatter yourself against the wall or something. Yeah. What?
What are you talking about?
Well, what's he talking about, you know? And I think he was honest. He did not, you know, he had this switch in his brain that only thought forward, you know. Never stayed in the mistake.
No. I mean, the cool thing about Ricky is too, he got the job done. It wasn't pretty all the time.
No.
But he got the job done, and he didn't reflect on his mistakes. But there was times I'd watch races, and there was 20 times around the track he'd swap. Yeah. I'm thinking, man, you know, it was amazing.
He had a lot of determination, and you know, he was convinced that it was his place to be there first, you know.
Yeah, believed in it.
Yeah. He had very big belief in himself. And what is the big takeaway for the people watching this and believing in yourself? What?
You can do everything. I mean, from whatever your occupation is, whatever you do in life, I mean, you can do it, you can have every area of it in line to the T. I mean, you name it, every area. But the fact is, like, if you don't believe in yourself, is that it's not going to be finished. It won't be, you won't succeed in doing it the best way you can. I mean, I think it's just that simple. If you don't believe in yourself, then you're missing. That's one of the biggest missing pieces of it all. I would have to
I
say.
agree.
I mean, so important.
Yeah.
So Roger, what's your big takeaway in the topic of believing in yourself?
Well, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else is going to believe in you.